So let's get connected. Hello, how's everybody doing? Let's make sure this is loading up properly. Good. Hey everyone, how you doing?
Hi Alex, how are you?
Yeah, I'm okay, thanks. Yeah. Let's just update so that everybody knows. So everybody knows, right? Good. Right. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. No, not late at all. No. Amazing that these markets have just been a little bit sideways. So there's not really anything. We haven't missed anything. The pound has made a nice swing up. About swing up to around 136.80, and now it's coming all the way back down to retest the low again. So yeah, there we go. Price action for you. Let's have a look at the pound. So look at that, all the way up, and then all the way back down. 26. Crazy price action. And it's funny because I put a target at 15 last night, and I left a few positions running. So I went to sleep. So I had them set at about 07 and 10, 136.7 and 136.10. And I changed it to 136.15 before going to sleep. And I thought, okay, it's fine because the last low's at 12. So, let's put it just above that. If it gets down, then retest that area. And the low was 16. So it came 1 pip away from my target, which is a little bit annoying because, yeah, it's that candle there. And we've literally swung up and swung all the way back down again. So I missed out on a chunk of change. Yeah, because it spiked down at about 2:30 in the morning London time, so just wasn't awake for it. Missed it completely. There you go. So that sometimes that's what happens. What can you do? How's your day been so far? How's your week been? And what do you think to the video that I posted yesterday? We talked about traders and analysts in the bank and how they work together, pretty much what it is they do. What do they do? And how do they do it? And that's what we talked about yesterday. That's what we covered in yesterday's video. So, well worth watching because it gives you an insight into what trading is all about, especially for the banks. In case people have any sort of misconceptions about about how they do it. Nothing fancy at all, really. Very straightforward. So, is there anything anyone wants to look at? Anything that anybody would like to? Anything anyone wants to see?
But Alex, when you apply for a bank, like for an analyst job, did they teach you how to trade,
Yeah,
or they expect you to know?
no. I mean, you appreciate that a lot of people that get these jobs are coming in as a junior, so you're learning on the job. It's like if you've been to university, you come out of university and you apply for a job, and you start as an apprenticeship, kind of as an apprentice, right? As a as somebody that they just give all the crap jobs to, and all the hours and and maybe do some night shifts or so that you're speaking with Tokyo and China and Singapore and Hong Kong and Asia at 2 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, just anything and everything really, and you probably do 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day. Any length of time like that when working in a bank and looking at charts and looking at stuff like this that's going on, and having to phone clients up and do deals all the time. It's quite a tiring job. You literally go home too tired to do much else, and then back in the next day. And depending who you're working for, and it depends what's going on, you might be called upon to work the weekend as well. And the weekend might consist of, if you are working on a crypto desk, that's 24 hours a day now. It's like every day. So even on the weekends, so there's always people on that desk now. It's become a mainstream event, isn't it? It's yeah. So it's full on. But watch anyone who hasn't watched it. Watch tomorrow's. Watch yesterday's video. Do watch yesterday's video to understand what trading is all about. At an institutional level, it's no frills. It's nothing fancy about it. It's very straightforward, but it's having an understanding, which then kind of hopefully puts your mind at rest, at ease, and you think to yourself, "Oh, I can do this. I can do this job because it's not as hard as all that. There's no conspiracy. No one's out to try and take your money. You hear about people, banks stop hunting and things like that. They'll go where the money is, the liquidity's there. A lot more nowadays is run by the computers and the algorithms. So, yeah. But there's no singling anyone out and saying, okay, that person's got more money than that one, so let's go after him. What's his name? Oh, his name's Dave. Okay, let's go. You know what I mean? It's not like that, is it? It doesn't work that way. So, literally, a trader buys here. He says, right, I'm going to buy it here and I'm going to sell here. And then he's going to put X amount of millions and millions and millions, 10 million, 20 million, 100 million, whatever. And that's what they're going to do. And that's it. Alright, so, here we go. I joined late. No, you didn't. Yeah, so GU shorts. Well, I'm still short bias on GU because as long as it stays below 137, short bias, we're still looking for 136.05. We have a gap at 136.07, and the gap is, you'll see it on a smaller time frame. It was when the price moved up like this, when we had the breakout, when we took this trade on Tuesday, so we're called the long Tuesday. Hey, Riaz, Dubai. Hello from Dubai. Everyone's in Dubai this year. Everyone is either in Dubai or wanted to go to Dubai. It seemed like the only place that people could escape to during Corona, during the lockdown. But I hear now that everyone's gone there and they've just obviously going to bring their germs. And how is it over there? Has the COVID started to cause a problem, or is it already a big problem? Because I'm hearing people are having to quarantine now, so it's no longer a viable place to go. While anybody answers that, let's have a look at pound dollar. So pound dollar, I'm just looking for a pullback to the 38.2, 136.05. Clear structural support there. It's very nice, isn't it? It's got that perfect area where we took the long from. So we waited and waited, and yeah, and then here we broke out. Pretty much got in at around 3:20 in the afternoon during the US session, and that's what we did, and we rode that up. This is a 1 hour chart. So I wanted to show you the fibs actually, because I've got fibs to the upside, fibs to the downside. So we had that initial sell-off, and the sell-off was from 137.04. So I plotted some fibs to just monitor that move back up. but of course they're no longer relevant, so we'll do away with them for the moment. Now if we break 137, what I'll do is I'll put them back on, and I'll start looking at the extension levels to the upside, like the 127.2 to the upside. But for the moment, we look like we're going to stay in a range. So yeah, if we are going to stay in a range, I'm looking for it to test this area. It's a bit annoying. This is the pound for you, though. Bit annoying it didn't just drop there last night and give us the money. I think we got down to about 12. So has anyone been trading the pound at all? Did anyone take any longs on it, shorts on it? Made any money on it? Lost any money on it? Anything that you guys are looking at or in any trades at the moment? Shall we look at anything that you guys are in? Any questions? I think we've pretty much covered everything. You're all professional traders now. This is your time. Think of it as your time.
Looking at the EU,
Oh.
I got a small position on EU, like seems to have broken support.
Yeah, yeah,
Looking, tracking it going down some more.
yeah. Good, good. I'm looking for a bit of a downbeat move on dollar pairs at the moment. So that is.
I think the news about Biden's stimulus and it's gonna push the dollar up a bit more.
What? So sorry. What did he say?
He came out that he's looking for a 2 trillion stimulus. He's gonna be proposing soon.
Oh, only 2 trillion. I thought it was going to be 3, closer to 3. But okay, cool.
I thought they passed the 3 trillion. Was this the 2 trillion on top of the 3 trillion?
I'm not sure. It says Biden proposed 2 trillion of extra spending, so I'm gonna say that's on top of the 3 that he already talked about.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw this morning on Market Watch.
Oh okay. Yeah, I haven't looked at the news since this morning. So I woke up quite early this morning, about 4:30 London time. Saw the move down initially on this pound, and then it was this spike down. That spike down to 16. So I'd already set my target to 15 overnight, and it missed it by a pip. So I was a bit pissed off about that because then it went back up here, and I left it alone, and I thought, okay, we'll leave it, and it went up and took me out. Went up to 64. So on one position, I forgot to adjust the stop to break even. The other one I closed out last night, and it was fine. And I got stopped out on one at break even last night when it went up, but I had one on still, working quite nicely. Which I left the stop
Yeah, he said
alone.
something else,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what's he saying? If at the end of the day they propose a stimulus, then I would expect the pound and the euro and everything to go up. So I would expect it to be dollar weakness, and so wouldn't expect it to do this move back down. So maybe it needs to
Yeah,
stab
the only other interesting
136. Yeah.
news was that they said that he's gonna work on decelerating the tensions with China.
Oh yeah. Cool.
That he was gonna work on bringing those down.
Okay.
So I don't know if that might have some kind of effect on the dollar.
Yeah. It's a bit of a hard one to gauge at the moment, because until they actually do it and agree it and sign off on it and actually have money, it's like someone saying they're going to pay you some money. So I'm gonna pay you some money. I'm going to put it into your bank account. So then you decide to go shopping and pay your bills and do all that, but the money hasn't arrived yet. But you're thinking it's going to arrive, so I'm going to take action beforehand. That's what traders do, isn't it? Sometimes, and we are all about anticipating moves, but sometimes you get a little bit too carried away, and stuff's going down. They start buying it, thinking it's going to reverse, and it's like, well, wait for it to finish moving.
Have you seen yes, speaking a little bit on that, have you seen an increase on that where it seems that trading has gone from actual technicals more to just news, like last year, where everybody after COVID said it's going to take years for a recovery, and it just seemed like everybody was wrong. All the institutions were way off, and they recovered a lot faster between May and
They
fall,
recovered. Yeah,
where
they
it
just recovered. They just bought the dip, and that's what seems to happen nowadays. It just seems like, okay, buy the dip. I think that was spurred on by the fact that the government or the Fed, they'd agreed stimulus. They'd agreed the first round of stimulus. to pump some money in. So it was free money. So roll up, free money time. So you can just, you know, go and get it. It's there, isn't it? It's all this money. So they bought it. They put it into stocks and shares. Stock market's rallying, making record highs. Yeah, just seems the new norm now. Whenever there's a problem, just chuck money at it. Gone are the days where people would have to work to save. It's all about instant gratification, and that's going to have repercussions. We just need to see what the new world order is going to be like when things happen, because we are living in a historical moment where things are going to change because the system's broken and this can't be sustained long term. It can't. It's not. Why have I got that on there? What is that? The hell did that come from? It's a random arrow. Yeah, so what do you guys reckon? Can you see that? It's like, look, if you can't pay your bills and you've got a mortgage, they'll take your house. But if you're a bank,
Yeah,
they
that's
just seem to
definitely gonna
keep
it's
propping
gonna
you
come
up.
back and bite somebody in the ass for sure.
Can't keep propping things up. So GameStop yesterday was up 50. GameStop yesterday was up 60%. Yeah, that makes sense. I see a resistance and a double top on pound Swiss. So you like your pound Swiss. I think it will go down. Okay, could you maybe take a look at and share your thoughts? Yes. Do you mind have a look at EN? What's that? Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand. Oh, it's a bit of a beast. Yeah, let's have a look. So this is dollar index. So we're having a bit of a move up. Weekly, you can see we're having a bit of a move since last week. So coming to a double top, testing the 200 EMA on the 4 hour. Let's drill down because dollar index is important to see what's going on. So it's having a bit of a recovery bounce, bit of a respite to the upside. Is that it? Is it going to last? Yeah, don't know. So Euro pairs, Euro Aussie, Euro New Zealand. Yes, let's have a switch to one of them in a second. Euro New Zealand. Very quickly. And anything else anyone wants to look at? Because it's good, because this is your time. So, you know, there's opportunities here to, even if you have just some questions. I don't understand why I keep getting these things. I don't even know what the hell this is. It's random arrows. It's going across my... It's just going across my... I don't know what that is. It's just... How strange. Okay, anyway, let's have a look daily. So this is the daily on the dollar index. Alright, that's cool. So that's having a bit of a recovery bounce to the upside. Let's see how that plays out next week as well. So let's go to Euro New Zealand and then we'll do Euro Aussie as well. Sorry, Euro dollar. Euro New Zealand, Euro dollar. That's what you've asked for. Tom, you're a gamer, aren't you? What do you like to play? Like Call of Duty, yeah? Bit of COD. Is that right?
Sorry, my mic was on.
You're a gamer, aren't you?
Yeah, I play a bit of COD.
A bit. You play a bit of COD.
Yeah, I am. I got a new computer for Christmas.
Hey. So you're a proper gamer where you sit on a computer with one of those funky gaming chairs, or I don't know.
I mean, not funky gaming chair, but more funky gaming keyboard.
Oh, okay, yeah, the
With
gaming
actual
kit.
ping and everything.
Oh, okay, yeah, and how does that help with anything, or is it just for show, aesthetics? What's it like with the computer? Is it better than a console? Are you on your computer now because it's rubbish? You need to take it back, mate. Get a refund.
I mean, Well, I got a new one for Christmas, so
Yeah, yeah. So what's it like? Is it better? Oh, so I'm all over. Oh, okay. Oh, you guys, okay, gamers. Yeah, it's a PC is better, isn't it? Because it's just better graphics, more memory as a hard
yeah,
drive. Okay, so you have to be a serious
yeah.
gamer, right? Do you have a big screen as well?
Yeah, I got a I mean, it's not huge, but it's 31-inch curved gaming monitor. So
Okay, okay. So it's proper posh. There you go. 2021. It's all about the curved screen and the funky lights. Yeah, good stuff.
exactly.
Is that the same computer that you use to actually trade with as well?
Yeah, yeah.
How's your trading journey?
Exactly. I'm moving up in the world and becoming like you. I'm soon gonna have 7 screens.
So is your trading journey, is that going quite well, would you say? Is it a bit of a roller coaster?
Nah, it's going well. I'm up 6% um, on my account this month, so
That's
going good so far.
that's good. I saw that.
Good
Yeah.
start to the year.
Oh, nice work. Well done.
Good start to the year.
That's good. Really good. So is this your long-term goal to be a gamer and a trader?
Yeah. I mean, the freedom just, you know, kind of just intrigues you and makes you want to do it more. So
Okay.
that's why I like trading.
Okay. And how's your discipline with your trading?
A lot better from when it used to be.
Okay. Okay.
It used to be awful.
That's good. That's cool. That's good. Well, no, it's good that you're around. It's good that you're here. It's nice to speak to you. Happy New Year as well. And I'm glad that it's going well. And if you need anything, just give us a shout. Um, right, let's have a look at good. Euro New Zealand. Let's have a look at Euro New Zealand. So we have a double bottom. We're testing that 127 extension. So could this be a double bottom where it turns and starts to go up, or will we collapse? Certainly has been a good place for it to be bought back up, and it's a 4 hour time frame. So yeah, we could well see a decent move to the upside if it can hold here. I mean, the bigger picture is bearish, isn't it? So yeah, it's a difficult one. We do have some divergence though. So we have the 127 extension down at around 16875. So if we can trade above 16875, that would be good. So that's New Zealand dollars. So $1.6875. So 16875 New Zealand dollars against the euro. So euro New Zealand, and we're just some support here. Been tested once, twice, 3 times. Once, twice, 3 times. Yeah, look, once went up, pulled back, tested it again, bounced off it, went up, tested it again, 4 times actually, 4 times on a 4 hour time frame. So it's just holding at the moment, and it's bearish, and it looks like it wants to go up, but it doesn't, and it just drops back. It's stuck in this little bit of a range, so it's not really anything that you can trade just yet, but you can set up some ideas and hypothesize and say, okay, if it can start showing some bullish momentum that's sustainable, you'd want to see, ideally, you'd want to see on a higher time frame, you'd want to see some bullish momentum on your indicators, no matter how much they're lagging. Anything really to give you some bullish momentum if you're wanting to take it long from here, or at least allow it to start making a bullish move and be, and change direction, because bigger picture daily is bearish, but we have divergence at the 127 extension 16875. So in theory, if it does rally, the reason I'd say you don't have to rush it, if it does hold here, you're looking for back up to 17164. So 17164 is where it broke out from, so that's previous structure. So even if you rounded down to 17150, that's still giving you about 300 pips, roughly. 300 pip move back up. So yeah, Euro New Zealand's pretty good for that. Pound New Zealand's pretty good for that. Those New Zealand and Aussie pairs, they can move 300 pips, not too problematic for them. So yeah, just see if it can find some support here, because it's got some, and it has got some divergence on the daily, which is quite a decent time frame. It's quite powerful. What were you thinking? You entered at 170.80 for a long. Oh, short. Oh, so you. Oh, right, close it earlier. Right, okay, no, if you've gone, well, you've got to check. It's at support now, isn't it? Double bottom. So if you're shorting, this is a good first target, isn't it, to complete the 100%, the N shape. Let me just update these levels very, very quickly, and then we'll have a look at euro dollar, and we'll have a look at gold as well, because gold's interesting, because that's just sideways at the minute. Everyone keeps thinking it's going to do something and jumping on it, and it doesn't do anything. And like, well, wait, key level is 1863 on gold. That's the high. If it breaks there, then you'll start looking for the highs. So all I'm going to do is I just want to update my fibs on here. So we've taken that last swing low, the very lowest point of that last swing. Why here, you might ask? Well, look left, there's nothing lower. And then look right. Where does it go when you look right? It goes all the way up, and it makes this clear, very apparent, very obvious move. So this becomes your point 1 to point 2, right? Out of all of this chart that you're looking at, that's it, isn't it? This is the most obvious, the biggest, most apparent move. So this is where we focus our attention. This is our starting point, because this was the last swing high that we had. And then if you carry on looking right, oh, it would help if it clicks. There you go. If you carry on looking right, there's, you know, the low wasn't taken out and the high wasn't taken out. It consolidated, making these consolidated swing moves. And if you look left as well, left, we got to the lowest point, so that's our starting point. It's the lowest point, so it's obvious. So that's our, so that's how you put your fibs on, in case anyone's always a little bit muddled. So you look at this chart, that's the lowest point. So then where does it go to? Well, it draws the eye right to the highest point. So now we can keep going, right? And we can keep looking, and where does it take out, where does it go down and retest that low? Well, it took it out, but we don't get rid of the fibs just yet. We want to look at this, and we want to see how price reacts. And it stabbed down, and then it bounced up, and it was all a bit messy, but it continued in a downtrend. And it's all just become a little bit volatile and a bit choppy down here. So it's not been something I've been looking at, because it's not really been tradable. If you look at that, it's all messy. But now, so you got in up here at 170.80. Excellent. That's alright, isn't it? 170.80. So what were you thinking of it? Where do you want to take it? So you have pivots on Euro New Zealand 15-minute chart. Do I? No, this is a 4-hour chart. Pivots on a 15-minute chart on the Euro New Zealand. Sometimes it might be that if I'm switching time frames and I use the same chart, so if I was to drill down on this 4-hour to a 1 hour 15-minute, those pivots would stay there, because these pivots are assigned, they've been assigned to this template, to this particular chart. So this chart could be a daily, weekly, monthly, but I'll always have fibs on it. So sometimes that happens where I don't move them out of the way, but generally I will have them on a 1 hour or a 4 hour. When I've got my 3 charts up, I think I have them on the middle one, and so that's the 4 hour. So you're looking for 166.70. Wow. So you are swing trading this. Massive move. 400 pips. 410 pips. Okay, cool. Let's have a look at 410 pips later. 166.70. So what made you do New Zealand? Yeah, I mean, look, if it breaks there 168, then I've got nothing until 165. Which again we just extend nicely. That's on this last swing. If you want to get down into the nitty gritty, then you can focus on all of this price action, the smaller swings, and you can just do maybe use actually we could do this on the 4 hours as well. Yeah, let's do it on a 4 hour as well, just to show you. We'd zoom into that bit right there, and you know, look at this price action, and again take the last swing high, take the last swing low. So the last swing low is there, you can see that. Clear wash and rinse, stab to the downside. That's what people call it, isn't it? And then, which is the high? 173.47.6 or 173.48.1. There we go. So the high has been tested 1, 2, 3, 4 times on with 4 hour candles. So multiple tests, and then it fell over. And so we are looking at, even on this range, we're looking at a 127.2 at 168.38 versus 168.76. So this is where we start seeing fib clusters, where we start taking the highs and the lows from the left of the chart. So you take the highs and the lows, and you do this multiple times, and you plot your fibs, highs and lows, and you see where the fib lines overlap each other or interlock, like they layer on top, so it becomes a good wall of defense or good wall of supports. And if you can imagine it that way, it's called a fib clusters. So you've got a good amount of support here, whichever range you look at. So in terms of price action swinging up and down, so if it breaks this area, then there is nothing else below, so you can get down another 300 pips to 165. But if it holds here, then I'd anticipate it potentially starting to move to the upside. Maybe go back up. Well, it's already been up to 169.47, previous high, where it broke out from, which was a test here as well, wasn't it? So that's providing some resistance. So that's already done that area. So we are trading below there. So yeah, it's I don't know. I wouldn't sell it here because it's too low for me. If you're in there, you just have to be patient. If it finds some support here and it starts to go up, then it's up to you. If you take some off, or close it, all of it, some of it, move your stop loss to break even, or move the stop loss down, trail your stop loss. So there's so many ideas, or so many ways you can manage your position, and you can't tell someone exactly what to do with that. If you have profit on the table, that's good. Now, if you want to try your stop loss, or take some off, or close it fully, or just leave it all to run with a stop at maybe break even, you know, you have options. So it's what suits you best and what works for you. Yeah, so that's the interesting thing about it. So you've a kind of a trailing stop. So when you see fit, you might pull it down behind some resistance. By the way, really appreciate all the work you do and all the content you provide. Yeah, that's all right. We'll do it for another year. I was saying to somebody yesterday, I gave myself 18 months, and I'm like 18 minutes into this, and I'm knackered already. I'm like, whose idea was this? New Year's resolution? Dear oh dear. I was in bed by about 9:30 last night, and I woke up about 4:30. Yeah, so that's that. Let's have a look at New Zealand. Sorry, euro dollar. I'm still tired. I'm not doing any trading today anyway, so that's good. I knocked it on the head, but I've just finished doing homeschooling, so it never stops. Bring on the days when I can sit on a beach, get drunk, and, yeah, whatever. In my shorts and t-shirt, that'll do. Have some simple life. Right, okay, euro dollar. We've got about 5 minutes left on this. Keep it nice and short. Carla, I'm new to your community, so I actually have another swing trading strategy. However, I'm going through your content. I really like this community. Yes, so with swing trading strategy, chuck it out there. Give us some bullet points. Give us some ideas of what it is you look at, how you do it. Maybe even the reasons, personal choice as to why you prefer to swing trade. Is it because you have job commitments or life commitments, family, kids, whatever? Because you know that is definitely something that needs to always be considered, right? And that's everyone. But please, everyone should get rid of their 1 minute charts. Stop trading off a 1 minute chart. Stop scalping. That is the deadest thing you could do in your entire life. It's time that you will never get back. 1 minute trading, scalping on a 1 minute chart. The worst thing you could do. Okay, so I'm gonna just adjust these fibs here a minute, and let's do it on the 1 hour actually. Worst case, 5 minute and a 15 minute chart, just to see what's going on when you drill down, but try not to even trade off them. You know, focus on a 1 hour, 4 hour daily, you know, and say to yourself, don't even look at the 1 hour. The 1 hour at best, you know, at the extreme, a 1 hour. If you can do that, then it will help you to do away with those smaller time frames by being really disciplined, by looking at the 1 hour, 4 hour daily, and saying at a push, you have to look at that 1 hour at a push, just as a reference point. Really, you should be looking at the 4 hour and the daily, and looking at the weekly, and looking at what the bigger picture is telling you. Because obviously, if you get divergence on a 1 minute chart versus divergence on a daily chart or a 4 hour chart, which one do you think is more powerful? Which one do you think is more reliable? Which one do you think you could probably make some decent money off? I'm sure if you're an expert scalper, you might be able to use divergence and do £100 a pip or something, maybe, if that's how you want to trade. Otherwise, you know, try not to entertain such small time frames, except maybe just to have a little look to see what the market's doing. Is it just noisy sideways consolidating, or to get an idea? But don't trade off them. The minute you do that, you're doomed to fail. And I'd have to say I told you so, and laugh at you and tell everyone what you've done. Create one of these memes and say, this person trades off a 1 minute chart. They want to be a successful trader. So if you don't want to be laughed at or made to look stupid, stop behaving stupid. Common sense. This is what we keep saying, people. Common sense. Come on, use a bit of common sense. Let's see what's going on. Bigger picture. Euro dollar has come off those highs with divergence. We had divergence on the daily. Look, 3-wave divergence. 1, 2, 3. 3-wave divergence. 4-wave divergence on the 4 hour. Look, 1, 2, 3. What do I mean by waves? Well, look, the volume. The volume goes up, comes back down, goes up, comes back down, and then it doesn't go higher than the previous volume. But all the while, the price has been pushed up. So you know that this has been forced up, but the money's not there to sustain this move up, and you know it's going to give it all back. And it did, actually. Look, all of this movement that felt like it was artificial has been given back, because we had fib extensions. They'd extended up. I've updated my fibs now, so you can't see those fib extensions. But let's see if I can do that quickly. So, David, what did you want to see on the euro dollar from your 30-second chart? What chart do you trade off? David, are you there? You asking about this euro dollar? Oh, he's gone. He came, he saw, he got bored. Who knows? Anyway, look. So this is. Let me show you quickly. Let me show you the extensions with the divergence. So take the last high. Take that last major low. because that's what I can see. Look at the divergence. So 127 was there, stalled a bit. It's got up to the 161, 176. Got up there. That's it. Oh, come on. Keep losing. Is that 40 minutes for real? Have I done 40 minutes? Already? Damn. Let's reboot this. Yeah, we're not done yet, so we're going to reboot. Oh. Get that on. Sorry about that, guys. It cut off. This is the interesting part. Right here. Yeah, we'll cover that in a second. We'll go over the indices as well. The NAS or any indices. No, it was my end. It dropped out. I didn't see. Okay, just put that on there. Yeah. Any more questions while we're waiting? Bit annoying. It's a bit annoying that it had to cut off like that. Is there anything that you guys don't understand that you'd like to look at? Ah, I see. That's not good, is it? See, he had to cut off because of his manager. Right, okay, never mind. Sorry, Matthew said this. Does anyone see this? I've never heard this before in my life. Since when? So he says, do you think FTMO will restrict my ability to implement your strategy because it uses higher time frames? You can't hold a trade for more than 2 hours. They emailed me. What? FTMO doesn't allow you to hold a trade for more than 2 hours. Where did you get that from? That's not true unless they've just brought that rule in. That's not a rule. That's never heard such ridiculous, like anything so absurd. If they did that, they wouldn't have any traders. You can't just close a position after 2 hours because it's been open for 2 hours. That's not how trading works. They only email on Friday if you have a trade open and market will close soon. Oh, okay. So if you had a position open on Friday night, then what happens? Because do they let you? Oh, whatever. I don't want to go through that again. It's just not even something that needs to be. Yeah, just Matthew, rest assured that you can trade normally, and just worry about when you get to the weekends. It's in the FAQ, the frequently asked questions. It's either It's either you can trade or you can't trade. I forget. I know with demo you can or you can't with a demo, but when you have a real account you can, or something like that. But yeah, they don't allow trades over the weekend, but I heard that they do allow trades over the weekend. But it depends whether you're in a demo or like challenge stage, or whether you are actually a funded trader. And they don't allow index trades overnight. Right, okay. Okay, but I thought you could hold your trades over the weekend if you are funded as a trader. I thought as a trader you can pretty much do what you want, apart from maybe trade 2 minutes before and after the news. But it's in their FAQ. Just type in ftmo.com, look for their frequently asked questions. I've been through the questions, and I know that they are answering all of those questions. I've been through their frequently asked questions to see for myself what FTMO were all about. And I took one of their challenges as well, and I made 11 grand on it on 100k, and I just wanted to see what it was like, and I found it very restrictive and very challenging because of the parameters. It's not that we were looking to breach the restrictions like the max daily drawdowns and things like that, but it was there in the back of your mind. I mean, usually you put a stop on, you say, right, I'm going to risk 1%. And that's it, and you think about that. But having this, it just felt like it was an added layer of pressure, or an added layer. It was a bit like resistance, support and resistance. It was just that added layer that was just, you had it in your mind, back of your mind. So you kind of just have to, from what I can gather, you just have to kind of get used to it. If you're a new trader, learning all of this, or learning to trade a prop account, might actually work okay for you, because you don't have to unlearn anything. But I think if you're more of an experienced trader, or if you're set in your ways of how to do things, then being told, in effect, that you have to do it like this now, you're like, so I have to make changes. Again, most of that is just mental. You have to kind of mentally prepare and adjust, don't you? As a funded trader, you can't. So as a funded trader, you can't. But to get through the challenge, you can pretty much do as you please. Right. Yeah. So Powell is speaking later. Yes. Powell is speaking later. So yeah, I just wanted to show you this. I wanted to show you the divergence that we had. We had divergence on the pound dollar, the Aussie dollar, euro dollar. They were all good for it. It was this kind of move up. It's very important. So as part of our divergent strategy, it was there. And yes, you can hold a trade for more than 2 hours. It wasn't something you needed to worry about. So it might have been just a weekend on Friday, if you just want to clarify that, Matthew. Yeah, you got to appreciate that a lot of trading, it requires just a bit of common sense. And if something doesn't quite sit right or seem right, not necessarily the trade in itself, but like if someone says to you, you can't hold a trade for more than 2 hours, you got to think to yourself, really? So how do all the traders in the world operate? It's like, okay, make allowances that this is perhaps a challenge, and if that was the case, then you would then say, well, you can keep your challenge because I'm not working like that. I'm not working to such ridiculous restrictions or parameters. So it just requires a firm approach from you. Be clear and use some common sense and say, right, is this for me? It's not for me. So if anybody was to do any, question it. So it's good that you've raised that, actually, because it would be good. The way they worded it, yeah. Yeah, no, of course, yeah. But you see, that's ridiculous. Imagine if they said, you have to close your positions after 2 hours. Oh, dear. That's not, yeah. Okay. Anyway, so euro dollar, divergence, lovely, extended right up, got caught up here in my little fishing net, and now it's, dropping back gently, slowly. Where to next? I don't know. It's sitting at my 50 EMA and a 127 support, and so is it going to keep dropping? Well, I'd like to see it. If it can break here, I'd like to see, with the divergence, I'd like to see 120 again. Nice fundamental round number. So $1.20 and previous structure. So come back down to test $1.20. Then where? well, then maybe we could buy it up, especially if they start introducing some stimulus. But at the moment, it seems like they are, in America, just talking about the stimulus, a potential for further stimulus, and they are throwing some big numbers out there, like $3 trillion. But it's not happened yet. So maybe that's why we're not seeing, maybe now's the time that it allows the charts to technically adjust themselves and correct themselves. So maybe, this is why it's the right time, it's quite fitting that we're going to see a bit of a correction with these markets, because people are going to be going, okay, they're going to start pumping loads of money in, so it's going to lead to dollar weakness. That's all I keep reading, dollar weakness. And then you come onto a chart like the euro dollar, and it's like dollar strength and euro weakness. So, a lot of media hype, and it hasn't happened yet. So, this could be a good thing. It's pulling back, so allow it to come back. Is what I say. Allow these markets to drop as much as they can. Allow the pound to drop. Allow any dollar-related pair to weaken. Show anything that's dropped, and then as they get down to retest previous structure, as it gets down here, then maybe with the stimulus, the fundamental news may help provide that second drive up, that other kick to the upside. So that might be quite good actually. So see how the fundamentals will work hand in hand with the technicals. Captain Awesome. Hey Alex, do you trust the fibs by themselves, or do you use them to confirm? Yeah, no, I use them in conjunction with everything else as an added confluence. How important is having a daily or weekly bias predetermined? I just do it on a daily basis unless something is definitely changing. So like, we had gold last week was trying to sell off. It had gone up and it had found some resistance at around 1963, and so I was watching a weekly, and I thought, okay, weekly is important, let's see how it closes. Come Thursday or Friday, start paying attention to the weekly. So I always look at the weekly, just not every 2 seconds, because it's a weekly chart. So you want to look at it on a Sunday night, Monday. You want to look at it at the end of the week, or towards the end of the week as well. And then maybe you'll just glance at it in between just to see if you've had some big moves during the week. Then you want to look at it at the weekly and see how's that affected your week so far. But as for predetermined, I don't predetermine anything. This whole like trying to get in at the top and the bottom, I don't do it until I see it's come to a key area. So going back to someone asking me, if you were to pick one of your three strategies, which would it be? Divergence on the 1 hour time frame on the pound yen. It just seems to work really, really well. So it might spike up and extend out like this, for example. Make that new high on pound yen. Go and have a look at pound yen actually, if you want, quickly. And then what happens is on the hour it will slap back and test previous structure. So to be more specific, I like the pound dollar when it's going up in an uptrend and it's making an up move, and it makes a new high, breaks out of the previous high, and it makes a new high, and it extends to like the 127.2, and then I like to short it up there with divergence. So have a look at this. So I'm setting up here now actually. Pound yen. Here we go. Pound yen. We have divergence on the 1 hour, and that's a nice move, isn't it? Straight away you can see a really nice move where you've got lots of red bars and lots of green bars. So let's drill, let's hone in on that area right there. Let's pull it like that. There we go. Okay, just get it straight. Okay, this is good. So let's do this. Right. Okay, so fib levels, divergence strategy. Take that high. Where's the high? There it is. It's right there. It looks like a beacon sticking its wick up in the air, waiting for someone to test it, touch it. There you go. So look, we've extended up. You can see that without me putting my fibs on there. You already knew that it had already gone up to these key fib levels. Look at the way it just dances around these levels. It's beautiful to watch. So we've got up here, test it, retest it, it's extended. What's up there as well? Round number. So we're looking at, someone's asked about, fibs, do I use them on their own? No. What other confluences do we need now? Now I've identified that, and we've identified divergence. Where's the divergence? In case anyone's not sure, it's down here. Look, 3 wave, 1, 2, 3. Uno, dos, tres. A 1, a 2, and a 3. Okay, there you go. Oh, come on, give me some, these charts. They're new charts. I'm getting used to how they move. They're very loose and floppy. Just like my mood today. It's I'm done trading. It's like I can relax a bit. I don't want to have to just do anything else. So I thought we'd just spend a bit more time with you guys today and answer some questions. Let's pull this back up. Yeah, there you go. So let's see. Let's try this again. So click this button. There we go. And this is really good. So divergence. So we look for divergence using our awesome indicator, because that's the one that you can find on TradingView, for example. So in case anyone's just joined, or if anyone didn't hear, somebody asked me, which strategy do I like out of all three? And I said the divergence strategy. And more specifically, I like it on the 1 hour chart, on the pound yen, when it's in a bullish move, like it is right now. And I like to short it back down, like we can do right now. It likes the 80 number. It likes the 30 number. It broke from 141.37. So for anyone who wants it, you short it from 141.80 down to 141.37 previous structure, and you can probably look to bag about 50 pips, and your stop loss would have to be, I mean, it's a fairly late entry really, but well, it's not really that late actually. It's quite good still, because your stop would only be about 25 pips anyway, so your stop would have to be above 142. So 142.10, short at 141.80, about 30 pip stop, and you're looking for about 50 pip or 25 pip stop. So you're looking for about a 1 to 2 risk to reward, and you're looking to take this down to previous structure, previous support at 141.37. Let's have a go at that actually. Let's stick one of these trades on just to see how it pans out. So I've got 78 up. Okay, let's stick 50 on it. Yeah, stick 50 on it. There we go. 50 bags. Sorry, not 50. It's 50 lots, isn't it? So it's 500 bags. A lot of bags. Trying to be street, trying to be cool. Come on guys, entertain me a little bit. I'm sat here talking to myself. This is what happens when you talk to yourself for long periods. See, I think they call it madness. Is that right? Apparently I have 20 odd people, participants in this group. You wouldn't know it. So, oh well, there's no hope for me then. We were doing that a long time ago. Okay, so,
is getting to you.
Yeah. So we just put a short on, just to have a go. So let's put this out there. What's the date? So 14th of Jan, and we're going to go JBP JPY short, pound yen short, sell at 141.80. It's there now. Stop loss is going to be 142. No, 10, 80, 25, 05. At 05. Spread's a bit weird though sometimes. Depends who your broker is with pound yen. But we'll leave it at 142.05, and then T1 is going to be 141.37. So actually it's not really that great. It's like a 40 pip trade. We're looking at 141.40. Just to give us a nice move down. 141.40. Okay, 141.40. You may be able to get a better entry than 80. So ideally a better entry above 80 would be good. And we'll give you the breakdown. Would be good. There you go. So let's pop that into my little signal group there, and let's share that across the world via social media, and a bit of copy and paste, and that's what we're looking for, really. So we've got divergence, we've got 3 head and shoulders type setup here as well. It's just, the more you look at it, the more you start seeing start seeing potential for this to play out. In terms of confluences, what are confluences? What are the reasons to take the trade? Let's have a look at a head and shoulders. Everyone loves a head and shoulders. Right, so we take that last swing high there. We go down to here. Follow the price back up to over here. There's the first head, and that's the left shoulder. Then we come down to start creating the right shoulder, which is here. As long as the right shoulder doesn't take out the head, it's valid, and then we want to take it down to about here, really. Is that right? Have I even put it on right? That doesn't look right. Why is that not working? I've put it on wrong, haven't I? Yep. What? Ah, dear oh dear. Can we edit this video? Expert trader. Oh my god, he doesn't even know how to plot head and shoulders. Tragic. Oh, come on. What is that? A lot of triangles. Yes, that's what I was going for. I was going for the triangular look. Yeah, that's really bad. Let's get rid of that. Let's have another go at this. Bear with me. They've updated the software. It's a bit new. The software's a bit new. I don't know. What other excuses can I find? What other confluences can I come up with to explain my screw up? I'm a bit scared now. I thought I'll have another go. See if I can get it on this time. Right. I know that's the head, I know that's the left shoulder, and we know that's the right shoulder because it hasn't taken out the head. And we know then that we want to see a break here. A break. Where would the break be? The idea of using the head and shoulder formation was to highlight the fact that we have, as well as the previous low, and as well as the 50 EMA, we were basically saying, okay, if it breaks this bit of support, then we want to take it down to the 140, 140 area. That's hilarious. Right, let's get on here. Let me just, before I do this, let me just put this trade on the other account. There you go, 79 feel. People obsess a bit.
So you've given us a glimpse of what it looks like to become a trader or be a trader for 20 years. You end up talking to yourself,
Pretty much.
kind of rambling a lot of different things.
Pretty much, yeah. Bit of waffle. Try to put a head and shoulders pattern on here to highlight. And I thought I'd done it right. I thought I'd put it on. Anyway, let's just put this trade on. So 41.40 is my target, and that's that. Done. Okay, good. So 25 pips stop loss. Yeah, we're gonna have a go with that one. Little stop loss. We're gonna put let's work out the risk on that. It's about half a 0.5% risk. Let me just check that. So yeah, it's about 0.5%. It's about 0.25% on a position. Put a couple of positions on, and about 0.5%. Yeah. Now, let me try and see if I can put this head and shoulder on. I did it like that before, so that didn't work. That was the right shoulder. Does it have to come from here, perhaps? So here to form the left shoulder, then down here. So that's the left shoulder. Done. Okay, now we're going up to the head. Now we're coming down to create the right shoulder. I hope. It should do it. This is, where's it gone? It's I don't, how weird. Okay, maybe it's not me then. This doesn't seem to be working. It's just stopped. I got the left shoulder on, I got the head on, and go to configure. And it's 0.7, but there should be another point, right? Or not. Okay, I'm just wasting a lot of time on a head and shoulders pattern that I don't even really use because it's the most obvious that you don't need to actually plot anything on it. I don't know why it's not working. Yeah, so there you go. I don't want to waste time with that because it's just wasting time. Let's stick to the other stuff. Any more? Let's have a look. So euro pound. Okay, euro pound. So euro pound tends to be correlated with the pound dollar. So ideally, I'd like to see the pound dollar and the pound yen both drop. Pound dollar and pound yen both drop, and so then I'd expect to see euro pound rally. So we'll have a look at that. But anyway, that's my chart for the pound yen. This is using divergence, which is down here, 3-wave divergence. So you can see we were here with the volume, and then price went up, made a new high, so it's created the head, and it's extended into our 161, 176 area, which is perfect. This captures the very peak of our move when there's divergence. The good thing about this also is that if it breaks this area, so it's had a test of it, which is what I also like as well. It's had another go and created a double top, so that's a decent, a decent bit of confluence. So if it breaks this area, you know that it's all bets are off and it's all void, and so there's no reason that you'd have to risk any more than whatever you want to risk on it, like 20-25 pips stop, 0.5% risk, or 1%, or whatever, and you think, okay, we'll have a go because it's got a head and shoulders formation, which is set up now. It's got a double top here as well. It's fully extended on this last move up. This is an hour time frame. We've got our we've got our 3-wave divergence, which is what we ideally look for. So not just 2, but a third, because it says volumes going, volumes gone by the third attempt. So we always look for 3 tests of anything, don't we? So that's good. So we're there. So short there. Let's see how that pairs or marries up with the euro pound. What are you wanting to see on the euro pound, Kishan? Double bottom on a 4-hour time frame. Well, that's encouraging then, isn't it? So maybe we'll see some sort of a move up. Oh look, I managed to do it there. Managed to do it there. Is that on the pound yen head and shoulders formation? There you go. That seemed to work perfect. How bizarre. Oh well, whatever. Okay, so let's have a look at this double bottom on the 4-hour. The euro pound. We'll give it another 10 minutes and then we'll finish. Hopefully it's been, I was going to say educational. Hopefully it's been amusing as well. Yeah, hopefully you've gained some insight into, I don't know, a little bit more of what trading is about. Watch yesterday's recording. Watch yesterday's video. Everyone, watch yesterday's video talking to you about analysts and traders in a bank. What do they do? How do they speak to each other? What happens? What really happens in the bank? It's a job for the boys. It's just a bit of a mess about. They've got all this money to mess around with, and they're like, right, I'm going to buy here, I'm going to sell here, and that's it. There's no talk of fibs, there's no talk of support and resistance, there's no talk of anything, because they're the bank, they've got all the money, they are the player, they're the house. House always wins, They're not the player, they're just people that are going to make the money move, and as a retail trader we just follow their cue to go either long or short, depending on what they're doing. That's simple as that, really. So looking at a 1 minute time frame is not going to be beneficial for you. So if you look at, next time you look at a 1 minute time frame, punch yourself in the face. If you need to go and take extreme measures, Yeah, I don't condone violence, but I hope you get my point.
1 minute time frame. Next time I will definitely do that.
Yeah. Okay, so this is euro dollar. I mean, euro pound. Euro pound's quite heavily weighted to the downside. There's no sign of this actually turning. It's still quite bearish, isn't it? To be fair, so I couldn't really rely on this to do anything. I don't want to short it here because it's too low. It's got divergence, which is good. It has divergence with an extension. But do I want to buy here? No, not yet, because it's just red and bearish. So it's bullish when it's bullish. Right now it's bearish. So I don't want to be calling tops and bottoms because it hasn't even, it hasn't really bottomed out either. It kind of has here. I mean, it's set itself up, tested it multiple times, but the low, the major low, is still at where's that? About 88.60 area. So we're 88.90, so there's about 30 pips still. So I don't want to short it for that because that's just mad. It's tested this area multiple times, so it could find some support and go up. I find that the euro, yeah. Joe, what was you going to say? I don't trade the euro pound really, because it doesn't move on its own. It moves with, if the pound dollar goes up or down, this one tends to move. So I don't make this
I'm
the
sorry.
pair. Yeah, what was you going to say?
So, no, I was getting the kids up for school. I didn't realize I'd unmuted. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Get the kids in. They probably trade better than you, better than me.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
You should give kids a go. I tell you, there was somebody that let their child have a go as a teenager, funded an account for them, and let them get on with it. And they were like 15, and they were doing very well. They were smashing it. They're not afraid, are they? Their frontal cortex, their brain hasn't fully developed, so there's no safety net, if you like. There's no fear. So imagine you're trading without fear. Potentially, if you can stick to some rules, do well.
They're 14 and 16. I've tried to get both of them interested.
Tell them
Don't go nowhere.
it's a video game. It's just like a video game. It's like playing COD. Somebody wanted to look at indices. Let's have a look at Wall Street, because I took a long on Wall Street yesterday. Hasn't really moved much off those highs. Then we'll have one quick look at gold, and then any other questions. So we're going to look at gold next. Indices now. Gold next. Right. Yep, indices. That's us done with indices. All good. Let's move on to something else. I don't know what you want me to say about indices. They're bullish and they're going up. And they're still bullish and they're still going up. So, unless you drill down to like a 15-minute, 30-minute, hour time frame, start looking at more intraday. Because on this pair, it moves like a beast. So you can look at it on the slightly smaller time frame, below an hour, and see some decent move, and it will give you 100 to 200 pips in minutes sometimes. So catching that is good. So when it drops, buy it back up, drops, buy it back up. Yeah, there's not really much activity, and I've noticed over the last week or so that the markets have been a little bit mixed as well. So when the US opened the other day, for example, Nasdaq went down, the Dow was going up, and vice versa, and it was all a bit of a mess. And then we had the FTSE and some European markets going down, and the stock markets in America were going up, and it wasn't all moving in sync. So there isn't really, I don't really see anything. Somebody asked me at the start of this to talk about the Nasdaq or any indices. Unless you have some thoughts on it, are you long on it at the moment? Cheers, Tony. See you later. See you tomorrow. Yeah, I don't really have anything exciting about it going on. I think gold's more interesting because gold is reacting at the moment. gold. Let's have a look at gold. Gold is reacting to whatever's going to happen with stimulus, whatever's going to happen with the Fed, and they're talking later, or did they talk already? No, they're talking later, aren't they? So stock markets are about to open. US markets are opening, so they're having a bit of a tank to the downside. Yeah, that's good. And then it spikes back up again. Right, okay. What's going on with the pound yen? Pound yen is completely rejected off 80, so that was the area to either buy or sell off. I decided to try and short it. It's not happening. I've got a stop at 05, so that looks like it might get stopped out. Maybe it's about 5, 10, about 10 pips away. Let's see what it does anyway. I think pound pairs might just stay bullish like they were this morning with the with the London Open. They pumped up, didn't they? And then they've been consolidating, so they might just have another pump to the upside maybe. I just saw that setup was really nice on pound yen, so we'll just keep this trade on and see what happens. Small risk. That's why I like the divergent strategy, because when you look at it on a 1 hour time frame, intraday levels, you don't have to put massive stops on, so I like that. I don't want to be putting 50 pips stops ideally, and then you can easily work out your risk as well and say, okay, I want to put 0.5% on here, I'll put 0.5% on it. Small trade, have a go, no major big deal. If you lose, put it this way, you'd have to lose a hell of a lot of times to make an impact on your account when you're risking small and taking these small trades. And I've probably traded about 3 or 4 times this week, so it's not bad. To give back some profit, that's not bad. But let's see what happens with that. So this is gold. Gold, because people were trying to buy gold yesterday and it wasn't ready. It wasn't doing it. It was just holding in this consolidation. We had a signal from the day before to go short on it. $18.37. So I want to buy gold above 18.63 to clear this consolidation. So if it breaks, then I'll be interested to take it long. If it just faffs about and like it's trying to go up now at the moment and has another go at 60 area and then drops off, for example, then we just leave it. But it needs to find some support, and then it needs to break 1863. So that's my take on gold. Do I want to short it? Not really. I wanted it to do the whole curl over, test the lows, and give us opportunities to buy it back up. But even that looked annoyingly difficult. I mean, you look at it on a 1 hour and on a 4 hour. Look at the price action, whipping all over the place. Not a nice bit of price action at all. Just curling over. You'd want it just to curl over and complete the N shape to the downside, and it's made more of an M shape, which is just annoying. So there's no reason to want to try and trade this until it moves away from this horrible price action. So that's why I said, well, let's explore the possibility let's entertain it if it goes above this current price action, which is at around 1863. It tried to go long yesterday several times at 1863. I put alerts on my phone and I didn't sit here because someone else asked me today, do you sit in your charts all day? Because you took a short last night about 6 o'clock London time on the pounds. And I was like, no. And obviously Chris said about that being a trader, you don't have to sit all day. And so somebody was challenging that, saying, well, do you? I'm sure you have to sit all day and keep an eye on what's going on. I was like, well, not really. I've been out today. I've done nothing. Came in this morning, looked at what was going on from the shorts that I had on overnight on the pound, and I had a little bit left on. I've just gone short now on the pound yen before the open. Maybe should have just waited for the open. Wait for the US traders to open with the US markets and just see if that was going to provide some momentum. obviously this is forex, so it shouldn't make too much of a difference. But it's yeah, it just seems to have a bit more bullish bias still. Might go up and have another challenge on the pound dollar to the upside. Might go up and have another go at 137. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I've got a small trade running now, and I'm currently about 15 pips down on pound yen. So that is my only real trade for the day, and I won't be doing anything else because yeah, I just don't really see anything. But I've given you some ideas and some levels, and hopefully you've seen how we look at the charts and look at the markets, and you know, and we're still in the game with this pound, so we'll see what happens with that. Have one more quick look, and we'll finish there. So thanks very much for joining us. I'll keep you posted with this pound Geppy, nicknamed Geppy. Keep you posted with this Geppy trade. See if it does anything. All right, thanks guys. Thank you everyone for joining us, and have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening. Take care everyone. No. Do I believe that scalping on a 5-minute chart? No. What's a good strategy? There is no good strategy for scalping. Not sustainable. That's what you should take into consideration. It's not sustainable. So you might be able to do it when the markets are trending, for example, or you might be able to do it. When the markets are in a range. Or you might be able to do it when it's not so choppy, or you might be able to do it better when it's choppy, but you won't be able to do it when all those conditions, throughout all those conditions. Generally I find people scalping, they can scalp in one sort of condition, when markets are doing a certain thing, and because they might not be experienced enough, they might think, oh look at me, I'm doing it, and it's like, well actually you're doing it because the markets are moving in such a way that it's allowing you to do it, but you won't be able to do it tomorrow or the next day because the markets will have changed, and so you keep trying to do the same thing and it doesn't. So maybe with a good strategy which identifies when price action is right for it, you might be able to, but then that might involve you trading, scalping maybe once a week or once a month, or you know, or a couple of days a week, and it just depends. Or yeah, so I think that goes with everything. I think you can do anything when it comes to trading. It's just you are your own worst enemy, as long as you know what you're doing, maybe. But I've never seen anyone scalp and be sustainable at it. Eventually they mess up. But I don't know. It'd be great to see if you want to try it and you see how you get on. The only way is to try it. Journalise it 6 weeks.